Hi, I'm Shatan, and hopefully today this is amongst the first few trainings that we're going to have. So today, for the Young Inventors Challenge training, we're going to talk a little bit more about what ASTI is, what YIC is all about, and maybe I'll just dwell a little bit into what inventions are, what are innovations, and what are designs. So at the end of this session, you should be able to understand who and what ASTI does, right? So hopefully after this session, you do realize that the committee members for YIC as well as the secretariat are friendly, and if you do need to solve any issues that you're facing, please do contact us. And I think that can only happen once you know who we are, right? And then of course, you're going to join the Young Inventors Challenge. Therefore, we hope that after this session, you will be able to understand the background of YIC and the whole program and what is YIC 2023. And I think what's important for most of you who are going to submit your proposal soon is also to understand the flow of the Young Inventors Challenge, right? And not least, we hope that after this session, you will also be to be able to understand what inventions are, innovations, and design, right? So without further ado, now, who is ASTI and what is ASTI? So ASTI is the Association of Science, Technology, and Innovation, and it's an association set up by educators, scientists, and industry representatives who are committed to advancing the role of scientific community in inspiring the youth of the nation to join and excel in the world of science, right? And more importantly, ASTI tries to use science, technology, and innovation for the advancement of mankind and the protection of the environment. Just to let you know, ASTI was set up by the founders through their first program, of course, the Science Fair for Young Children on 25th October 2012. So as you become more familiar with ASTI, you come to realize that ASTI has many more programs beyond YIC, right? So this is the list of programs under ASTI. Of course, this is not exhaustive because every year we get feedbacks from the participants, and we try to come up with more more interesting programs to fulfill the needs of the participants. Now, let's go in a little bit on the Young Inventors Challenge. The Young Inventors Challenge aims to encourage secondary school students between the age of 13 to 17 to experience the merit of working as a team, and with that, to find innovative solutions to everyday science-related problems, right? YIC started in 2013. Therefore, this year would be our 11th year doing YIC. Each year, ASTI would invite Malaysian secondary school students, and I think after the MCO, when we had the special edition, it started to trickle towards more beyond ASEAN. So the Young Inventors Challenge is becoming more international, and that is a very good thing. The committee members for YIC as well as for ASTI are very happy about it. Because once it becomes more international, it allows students, participants to be able to engage with other peers, right, globally, right? That, of course, that's the goal. Now, some of the key achievements for YIC. Okay, so we'll talk about the growth just now. So for the past few years, we can see a big growth in the Philippines. Participants from Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Vietnam, Timor-Leste, India, and China. Between 2017 and 2022, YIC received international recognition from the Malaysian Ministry of Education. And, we do get a lot of media coverage from national and international newspapers and television news. In 2019, YIC was also listed from over 1,500 education projects from around the world to participate in the conference and competition called Reimagining Education, held in London, that was organized by the respected rating agency, QS International. YIC was also recognized as the top 10 projects run by an alumni of the International Visitors Leadership Program, IVLP, conducted by the US State Departments. So all of us in ASTI and the committee are definitely hoping that we'll get more participation, perhaps from the US, in the UKs, and also from Europe this year, to further enrich the program. Now, what's the aim and the objective of YIC? Number one is to give opportunities to young adults who are inventive to promote their ideas to the outside world. Number two, to train and give an opportunity to young inventors to develop and showcase their inventions. Number three, to help young inventors to experience the inventive cycle from conceptualization to products and prototypes. Now, this is the history of YIC. You can see the year, the team, the number of participants, right? You can see when we started, there were only 12 teams. And as we grow, every year, the number grows. And I'm hoping this year, the number will be significant again. Now, this is the YIC 2023 process. We expect all teams to complete their registration by the 31st of May 2023 with the proposal submission. Following this, your proposals that we receive from you will then begin to be passed over to our judging panels, right? Once the judges have returned their marks to the secretariat, the marks will be collated, right? And the teams will be shortlisted and announced in July for the next session. Now, let's go in a little deeper. What is innovations, what's inventions, and what's designs? It's free. Okay, when we talk about innovation, one fine example is the type of economics that a country goes through, right? Normally, we always glaze it with a word called modernization, but every country goes through a certain process of growth, all right? And so the time this growth is driven by innovation, right? So in the case of the model here, which is a very Malaysian model, and I think a very Asian model as well, country starts off as a very agriculture-based economy, right? And then when innovation starts coming in, become more efficient, then you start going into the industry-based economy. Now, when the industry-based economy becomes more mature, standard of living is improving, people get better education, then you begin to transform towards a knowledge-based economy. Hence why today you see a lot of terms like Internet of Things, digitalization and whatnot. So this is the knowledge-based industry. And many things working behind this is driven by innovation. Now, innovation also allows you to do the same things, but if you look at the pictures here, these are all farmers. They're doing the same thing, right? But with innovation, that's the difference, right? You become more efficient, your production yield increases, right? Just as an example. Now, that is from the farm. Now we talk about how does your food reach your table, right? Now, if you look at these pictures as we go up, from the farm, the farmer collects the vegetables, passes on to the logistic handler, right? And the packaging handler, it reaches your supermarket, it is processed and packaged, and then put up at the supermarkets for you to get ready food or minorly prepared food for you. So if you look along this whole value chain, a lot of innovation is put in place, right? And if you compare yourself today compared to maybe your grandparents and stuff like that, food is so easily available to us compared to what it was before, right? And this is of course driven by innovation. So what is innovation, right? Now you got your smartphone. I'm not sure if you remember the old days where you have a separate camera, you have a separate calculator, a separate compass. Every every little thing that you want to do is on a separate device. But you see, with a smartphone, you have everything in place, right? And then the second one is, of course, your selfie stick, right? And I believe this is a very old picture. I think there are more newer innovations today to make your selfie taking much more interesting compared to what it used to be. Now, this is a more peculiar one, right? Sometimes, so in innovation, we would like to say, no innovation is stupid. It can be peculiar, it can be funny, but it serves a purpose, right? So in this case, the guy has the tissue paper and the device on top of him. So it's accessible to the tissue paper at any time. Now, this is another one where you have a baby stroller and also your basically your stroller put combined two in one, right? Now, what are the actions or process of innovating? So innovating in innovation, you need to change, you need to alter, you need to transform, you need to allow it to metamorphosize, and finally you get your innovation breakthrough. Now, innovation can be in many forms, right? It can be a new method or a new process, right? A new idea, and also a new product. These are some innovations. Again, the more funny one. You have a shoe with a mop at the bottom of it, so two in one again. You of course you then on the far left side you have this container where it's one of the best containers when you want to make half-boiled eggs, right? So you put in hot water, and based on the trickling of the water, you will know, and the plastic will start moving up and down. Then that's how you know when your half-boiled egg is ready. And most of the time when it comes out, it's almost perfect. Then you have the baby in the shopping cart, right? Very comfortable. And some of us take evening tea, and now you don't really have to pick up the teapot, right? Now, the innovator normally creates new stuff or improve on existing stuff. But what is important is that the inventor learns to break rules. They always try to be different, right? So based on this picture, who did you notice more? Now, just a simple analogy here. An inventor understands the problem. So first question he'll probably ask is, do you want it, right? Do you want the change, or do you want something better? So if the answer is yes, you have the achieve or invent or preserve. And then the next question that comes in is, do you have it, right? If you do not have something to solve what you want, therefore, you will try to achieve or invent that innovation, right? Now, to be an inventor, you need to be different. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole thing here. As an inventor, the first thing you want to do is to find the right problem to solve. Number 2 and 3, you want to break the pattern, or you want to break some form of rules to make better products. And the 4 is how you grow the solution. Now, to be an inventor and an innovator, you need to practice design thinking. right? In design thinking, you start with a solution and you seek to generate better solutions. And you always envision that, what could be, and you try to get there. So hence why the word practice is in front of design thinking. It's a thought process that we need to go through and we need to harness and try to get it to perfection, right? It's a daily training kind of thing for you to reach the design thinking level that you want to be in. So when you talk about designs, you design for many reasons. You can combine the possibles and the desirables to solve a problem. So for instance, a lot of us eat, in the Asian culture, we eat the roti, right? The roti becomes more flavorful when you have the dal or the sambar, right? It becomes a very savory dish. Another example of this is the same again with the roti. You may want to put sugar or you want to put jam, right? So it becomes a dessert kind of a food, right? Now, designs also come in a way when you want to solve problems and problems that can change the world. I mean, and products that you can change the world. So in the olden days, people didn't know how to store water, right? And now in the modern world, we have this, right? We have water bottles in different sizes and forms, or our storage of water when we need it. Sometimes design allows you to solve problems creatively. We have a chair, we add it with a wheel, and what do we get? We get a wheelchair, right? Another way is also design helps to transform a problem into something else that is more desirable, right? So this is a particular example. Right, you have cups with a round bottom, and let's say you have a coffee stain, right? When you put it on the table, you start to have all these undesirable what you call this coffee patches that you see on the table. So you come up with inventions again. This one you have a swirly, more designs, right? So the coffee stain on the table looks better. So innovation and invention comes in multiple fashions, right? It can be something very simple to something very complex, and there's nothing wrong with that actually. So just as case studies of inventions, these are some examples. Now we have the talking cone, right? In the olden days, when you go to the airports or in restaurants, normally you see the cone, right? And you are expected to know that that's a danger. But what happens is with this invention, they put the sound detective system in there. So as you pass, it will inform you, beware slippery floor, right? So it helps you to be more alert. Now, lemon slices. In the olden days, where you have to, in the restaurants or the pubs where you have to manually cut off your lemon slices for your drinks or your food and everything. This invention, a very simple invention, and I believe this kind of inventions, I'm not sure what kind of shopping gateways, online gateways that you use nowadays in your own particular country. For ours, we have, your Lazadas and your Shopee.my, and if you click, sometimes you'll be intrigued with how, there's so many new forms of inventions to solve very simple problems, right? So this is one of them. But this is another one. This is quite interesting, right? This is shake rattles. Sorry, these are cups for babies and infants. And with babies and infants, right? They rattle, right? And basically, your cup goes everywhere. So this was the first design where it is a non-slip cup, right? And it helps to help a lot of the parents when they take care of their infants. Okay, now just a sidetrack. I just want to keep everyone motivated, right? So, because you're just starting the process right now, and I believe that as you go through the process, there will be some failures, right? Where I want to keep it is I want to hopefully keep you motivated, and and let yourself know that failure is not the end of the day, right? It is just one stage to make yourself even better, right? So I think most of us probably know of the SpaceX rocket crash, or the malfunction that happened a few days ago, right? So basically, with Elon Musk, they like to use this team called successful failures, right? With more failures, you learn more, you get more data, and and with time, you produce better products or better solutions. Now, so you see, this is $1 million rocket. It crashed halfway as it was being launched, and what does it? Elon Musk responds by saying, "Congrats, team, on an exciting test launch of the Starship. We learned a lot, and we'll be back in a few months, right? Better, right?" Now, this is something someone else made in regards to this crash as well. A comment that someone else made, right? I would say the timeline for transporting people aboard the Starship is accelerated right now compared to what it was a couple of hours ago. So what it's trying to say again is that the failures allow you to re-strategize, reanalyze your problem, your innovation, and also your design, per se. And hopefully at the end of the day, you come up with a better solution or a better product, right? And with that, I would like to thank you for the time to listen to this session, and all the best, everyone.